Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today I'm going to give her a story titled, My Wife Got $500 Lip Fillers and Keeps Buying and Lying. And guys, what we have here is a story about a woman who is a compulsive spender. And along with the compulsive spending, also does the compulsive lying. And this guy's writing in his story here looking for answers and for advice on how to handle the situation with his wife. Because no matter what she does, no matter what they talk about, she keeps spending money. Okay, this guy's deeply concerned that he's going to be on the hook for all her debts, and yes, he will, and go into bankruptcy, and yes, he will, amongst many other problems that's going on with his marriage. And I'm going over this one, guys, on purpose to tell you, as an example, to show you just how important that you, if you're going to get married one day, which I don't recommend, but a lot of you guys are going to do it anyway, you got to make sure you and your lady see eye to eye when it comes to spending, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be 100% exact, because I never ever seen a couple that was 100% exact, but I mean darn close, okay? If saving is important to you, which honestly, guys, all you guys should be living beneath your means and saving your money every month and then investing it in the right places that you're comfortable with, she needs to be pretty close, okay? Now, it's been my experience that women spend more money than men. Okay, I've known some women that are very smart money-wise, and they actually are big savers, but it's a small percentage. Most women spend way more than their guys, okay? And I've also known guys who are complete boneheads with money that are compulsive spenders. I got a friend who's like that. This guy hasn't changed in all the years I've known him, and he's never going to change. Okay, but generally guys are better with that, and you got to make sure you see eye to eye. And you're going to see right here in this quick story here exactly why that is. Now, I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to break down more. I'm going to get more into detail why this is so important, guys, and all the pitfalls and problems that could happen to you if you marry a gal that's like this, and things you can do, in my opinion, to prevent these types of things. So, starting off, he says, today, my wife spent $500 on temporary lip fillers. She has a legitimate job and makes around $81,000 a year annually. However, she orders thousands of dollars worth of clothes, decorations, and other useless items. I've had many long conversations with her about how we are losing money every month due to her spending. Not an ideal situation, huh, guys? She keeps telling me she understands and then goes behind my back and spends way more than we should and lies about it because she said if she says she cared, she says she's scared that I'll be mad. You're darn right he's going to be mad. It's not an excuse. Also, I didn't want her to get lip fillers because it was just fine the way she looks. Lip fillers, guys, I believe are injections into a woman's lips to make them look bigger, like these dumbass Instagram models or whatever. She's always had been self-conscious. However, nothing I say helps her. I still love her, but she's not the same person she used to be and someone I could trust and talk to. I feel like she thinks since we have money, we can just spend on anything. I'm not a big fan that she's trying to change her looks and doesn't seem like the woman I married. She lies a lot, once every 3 days or so, and most of it is lying about buying stuff and prices. She has a real problem and I feel hopeless. What should I do? What should you do? You should get the hell out of it. That's what you should do. But getting back to that in a moment. So guys, does this sound like an ideal situation to you? This sucks. This guy's really in a bad situation here. And this is why I tell you guys so many times that, again, if you're going to get married, you better do the screening process on her. Okay? This is exactly why I tell you guys. I talk about all the time that if you're going to get in a serious relationship that could eventually lead to you going getting married, which I warn you about not to do anyway, but many of you guys are going to do it anyway. There's 3 main areas you got to know about your girl before you get started. Number 1, you got to find out if she's a good communicator. Because problems are going to arise, disagreements are going to be in a marriage, and so you got to make sure she's someone you could actually talk to about issues, and she's going to be good about it. She's not going to throw a hissy fit and start throwing dinner plates at you or cups or whatever, and breaking chairs and acting like a freaking brat about it, okay? Or she's not going to be passive aggressive, or she's not going to just not want to talk about things and just stuff like that. You got to make sure she's a good communicator. That's number 1. Another thing is very important is to see what her family's like, to see how that dynamic is. Does she have a good relationship with mom and dad? There's a lot of love there. She loves her dad. There's no resentment and ill will with her mom. Gets along with her brothers. They're happy. That's a good sign that your marriage is going to be along those lines. On the other hand, there's a whole bunch of freaking drama all the time. That's going to be your marriage. And the third thing, and in my opinion, probably right up there with communication, is money. You got to see eye to eye to money. And like I said at the beginning, It doesn't have to be 100% eye to eye, but it's got to be pretty close, okay? And I was fortunate. I grew up in a family where my parents made damn good money, but both of them still lived beneath their means. Both of them were savers, okay? My mom spent a little bit more than my dad because that's just how it goes, but it was never an issue at all, okay? Every month they were always putting money away. Even when my dad retired. He retired at 65 years old as a doctor. He was getting a pension from the hospital. He was getting a pension from the Navy. He was getting a pension, I believe, also Social Security. And still, every month, there was a big surplus. And he was investing it in the S&P 500. He was an S&P 500 man, okay? And amongst other things. They're always putting money away. And they would budget and plan vacations and all that stuff, even though they didn't make a difference money-wise. Okay, so they had plenty, but still they saved, and they taught that lesson to me. They taught it to my sister, and and both of them. My dad, my dad was way older than my mom. He was 24 years older than my mom. My mom was born right after World War II ended. My dad grew up in the 20s and the 30s in the Depression, so he learned these things. Okay, and yes, my dad was way older than me. I'm of a second marriage, guys, in case you didn't know about that. So I learned these things. This is how I am. I am way more of a saver than a spender. Okay, if you have compulsive spenders here, and you got crazy miser savers here, I'm like right here. Okay, I do things. But believe me, I find deals and all that, and I enjoy every month putting money away, watching it grow. But anyhow, you got to see eye to eye with your girl. And if not, it's going to be problems. Okay? And money is one of the biggest reasons why people divorce. Right here, look at his mess. She's going to drag his ass down. Does that sound ideal to you? Money is one of the biggest reasons divorce. This is why in the beginning you got to find out. You got to have that conversation with her. You got to spend, this is why I say spend years and years and years with your girl. If you even consider getting married with her, to see what she's like with all these real life situations arise. Okay? To see how she is with money, how she is with her attitude towards those things. And these are questions you could ask and figure out early on. Okay? You want a girl that is more inclined to saving. You want a girl that cares about her credit score, because if she racks up all those credit cards, her credit score is going to nosedive. And if she racks up those credit cards too much that she can't make payments, it is also going to nosedive. You see what I mean? So you got to see eye to eye. Good credit, good spending habits, not racking up the credit cards. I got no problem with people who have credit cards. It's a great way to build your credit. And also, if you get the right ones, you can get points and apply points towards airline tickets, hotel stays. Okay, you just got to play the game right. But if you got a problem, that's a different ballgame. This is why also, guys, I'm very big on potentially hiring a PI before you get married. It sounds extreme. It sounds nuts to many people, but you got to find out, because she could hide all this debt from you, credit card debt, loans that she may have taken out, literally borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, a 530 credit score or something like that. You got to find that out. So it's not totally unreasonable to have a private investigator find that out. If not, at the very least, you're sitting down and have a very serious talk about everything. You got to know what she has in terms of investments, what she has in terms of savings, what her credit score is, okay? And equally, you got to be willing to share that too if you're going to get hitched. I mean, let's be honest here. If you're going to get married, it's a business deal. It really is. It's a business partnership, okay? A bad one, I might add, because the odds are you're going to lose, but guys do it anyway. And the thing is, guys, is that it's amazing to me, and I see articles pop up all the time, how couples don't know what the other spends money on, okay? Some turn a blind eye, other ones just are completely in the dark. It's amazing to me. I remember years ago, one of my first jobs, I don't know my first jobs, but one of the first jobs that really led me on the path of being in my business for myself, I worked for this small company that sold Pokemon cards, okay, way back in the day when it was popular in the late 90s. And people call up husbands, men, women, and the wives just say, oh, my husband, if he knew what kind of money I'm spending on the kids, or the husband say, oh, my wife knew the money I was spending on the kids. See what I mean? Stuff like that. It's unbelievable. And this is why I tell you guys, for your relationship guys or thinking about getting married, this is why you got to have your own separate bank accounts, okay? Can't make that any more clear. You have your account that your paycheck or your money from your business goes to. She has her account for her paychecks or money her business goes to. In your name and her name, that is it. And if you do a joint account, it's a joint account that every month you put some money in and she puts some money in to take care of the mutual bills, like the electric bill or the cable bill, Netflix, whatever the hell it is, the mortgage, rent, whatever. That's it. But you got stuff accounts in your name, strictly yours. She's got accounts in her name, strictly hers. There are no joint credit cards accounts. Okay, she has credit cards in her name. You have credit cards in your name. That's it. Because if she's on your credit cards and she racks them up, you're responsible for them. See what I mean? Now I don't know if this guy has a situation like that. He doesn't mention it, but regardless, he's still on the hook one way or another. It's not a hard thing to figure out, guys. In my opinion, what should this guy do? I say this guy gets the hell out of there. That's what I think. This is not the warm and fuzzy channel. This is the relationship channel. I do give advice based on my life experience and all that for you relationship guys. But I'm not going to be, this ain't the repair the marriage channel. This is me. This is the ugly truth. This is real life. She's screwed up. Okay? And yes, she's got problems, and I get that he loves her, but guess what? She doesn't love him enough to fix herself. She doesn't love him enough to try to change. I don't hear anything about her admitting she's got a problem, seeking therapy, anything like that, because in this story, guys, a lot of people are posting left and right comments to this, and it's all about get her therapy, get joint accounts, do all this, blah, blah, blah. And yes, she does need that. After you get the hell out of there and end it. Now, I get, you can't just walk away, okay? It's involved more, there's more to that. So this guy, in my opinion, needs to speak to a divorce attorney, find out all his options, and then move forward and getting out of there. Because, and I get the impression she's not that old, and he's not that old. She's already bringing him down. And also in the comment section, by the way, they're all the women there posting are supporting her. They're like, she's got her money, so she should be able to do what she wants. He made it clear in this story, you heard it, that they're in the hole more and more every month because she's spending more than what she brings in. And it's impacting him. And this is how his life's going to be. And even if she does get help, it's always going to be in the back of his mind. She's always going to have these urges to go spend money just the way alcoholics have urges for alcohol. Okay? And this guy said this is not who she was before. So he got himself a bait and switch. I guarantee this just didn't happen one day when they got married. This was going on. He probably didn't have somebody older and wiser say, you better check her out. You better do some investigating what she's like with the money and all those other things. He probably just like, oh, she's beautiful. She's fun. Well, let's get married. And no idea about the credit score, the debts, this, that, her spending. Not at all. And at the end of the day, we all have flaws. I get that. I'm not perfect either, but it's not somebody else's problem to have to fix you and have to deal with all that bullshit, especially when one is not willing to do anything about it. And clearly she's demonstrating through her actions, she's not willing to do anything about it. And she's hiding it from him and saying, oh, you'll be mad. Well, he's every goddamn right to be mad, right? So I'd say he needs to get out of there. Talk to an attorney, figure out everything, good, bad, and ugly, what he's going to have to deal with, and move on. Because even if he takes a hit, you know, they get divorced, and he obviously, I don't know if he makes more money than her, it doesn't say. Even if he takes a hit, it's worth it long term because it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And and he doesn't mention having any kids with her. I hope not. But someone like this, imagine if they got a house and she racked up so much debts. Next thing you know, debt collectors, amongst many other things, that can impact their house. So it's just not worth it, guys. Now, I'm going to read some comments here from women, all giving him shit, just to show you the mentality out there. Because, again, like I told you, women are way worse generally with money than men. Now, one woman says, listen, she says, step one is to quit making it about what she's buying. If the problem is that you're going into debt or not saving what you should, or you're unable to afford other things that you need or that benefit both of you, address that. Make a budget and plan to pay down or start saving more, etc. Making it about him, he has every right to make it about him because he's tried. He's tried talking to her and working things out, but she's hiding things from him. She's lying. She's so focused on the save the girl thing that she's not paying attention to that. And he can make a budget. They can make a pay down the debt plan. It doesn't matter. She's just going to go spend it anyway. Or let's just say he has control over credit cards. Well, nothing's to stop her from applying for more credit cards online and have maybe the credit card sent to some other address or something he doesn't know about. That's the problem. You can't just say, well, we're just going to talk about it and pay it down. It doesn't work that way, okay? She's got problems, and I'm not going to deny that. She needs therapy and all that when he's done with her. She says, but for money that is fine to spend, stop being so controlling about it. It doesn't matter if she wants to spend it on fillers or clothes or things for the house. Your opinions on fillers isn't relevant. She's not forcing you to get them. She's getting them in her face because she wants them. Lady, the money's a problem. And yes, I guarantee you, this lady who's writing this comment here, if If her guy was spending all his money and it was causing overspending and causing a problem for her, she'd have an issue with it because she sees a woman under attack, so she's defending her. Okay? Bullshit. You get married, you're in a partnership and all that, and you need to see eye to eye with spending. Okay? It's obviously a problem, but she's not focused on that. And what I tell you, women love to spend freaking money. They're the ones generally want the bigger houses that people can afford because it's a way to show off to the neighbors and her girlfriends that she's competitive with. She wants the fancier cars that they can't afford, send the kids to the best private school. When guys would be much happier with smaller houses, not as fancy cars, not spending money on these lavish vacations they can't afford. See what I mean? Now again, it's not all women are like this, but a hell of a lot are. She says here, and the fact that it sounds like you're making this about controlling and judging what she spends money on is pretty inevitable. It would get to the place where she's lying about. You aren't helping her by judging the things she wants as useless. You mean judging her? You mean holding her accountable for her actions? Is that what she's saying here? She says, you're just creating an environment where if she wants to do what she wants to do, she has to lie and hide things from you if she wants to avoid getting an earful of your negative opinions about her. I'm not saying it's good, healthy, mature response, but it is a reasonable one. If you want to fix things, you have to let go of the judgment, focus on the actual financial issues, and don't judge her on how she spends her money. She is free to spend it, and that doesn't harm you. Has she not heard anything in this guy's post? They're losing money every month because she keeps overspending and setting a budget and all that bullshit he's talking about. Although that's important for a normal couple with normal issues, doesn't matter. She's a liar. She's got a major problem. She's a compulsive spender and compulsive liar. Okay, doesn't matter. And guess what? I have no problem people spending some money on some things, but when more and more of their money is being spent and they're losing money every month and they're not going to be able to pay for the things they need, that's a problem. So yeah, and he has every right to judge her. Okay? Because remember, judging is another word of holding someone accountable. And we know about the gals with accountability. Right there. See that? Another one. This is from another woman. She says, how much do you earn? Why shouldn't someone earn a good wage have nice things? She lies a lot. She shouldn't need to lie. She earns money and she spends some of it on the crap you don't approve of. Separate your money, have a bills account, and separate accounts. As long as the bills account has money, she should be able to spend her own money. So again, she's defending the gal and attacking the guy. How much do you earn? Again, they're losing money every month. You can set that account there for the other things. Doesn't matter. She's going to keep finding ways to rack up money and get credit cards and all that. It's a big freaking mess. But again, if the situation was reversed and a woman wrote this and she had issues, these same women that are defending this woman will be attacking the guy. And we know it. Women and accountability. And the last one from a woman, she says, how much are you earning? My husband got mad at me buying expensive handbags even though I earned a good money. He was happy spending money on his priorities. I paid the deposit on our house and contributed to household expenses. I agree with his opinions on spending as he kept nagging at me and wouldn't listen to me or shut up until I did. I got a small amount of Botox in my forehead. It does wonders for my confidence. Separate your finance. So she's getting Botox too. Means she's getting old. And not as attractive, needs to look good. But here's another one. How much are you earning? Here's the point. You need to have a comfortable life and all that. You need to save money and invest and not piss away on bullshit. Again, I got no problem with spending occasionally on some things that you enjoy. But come on here. But see, every single one of these gals are defending her and making him out to be the bad guy. Twisting it around because, God forbid, he's judging and holding her accountable as he should because they are married and the budget works for both of them and all that. And no mention once about the deficit she's creating for them and the problem is going to happen to him. Nope. He's the bad guy because he's judging. All that bullshit. So, believe me, if this guy happens to find this thing, because this popped up on my phone a few days ago, he needs to get out of there. And any of you guys may be watching this are in a situation like this, and you can see your gal is lying all the time and racking up all this debt, and you're having a hard time paying your regular bills, everything. I think it's time for an exit strategy, okay? People are going to say, oh, go to therapy, do this and this, and maybe that could help, because if you love her, but you're always going to have this problem in the back of your mind. And at the end of the day, just sudden urges, the next thing you know, she's back secretly ordering credit cards and racking up debts here and there and everywhere, and it's going to impact you. Okay, you don't need that shit in your life, guys. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me just think about this. Guys, what do you think how this guy should handle it? I'd like to hear that in the comment section. And for any of you guys who may have dealt with something like this, let me know how it went, how you handled it, and all that. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.